Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. Well, let's try and fix the sound issue on this motherboard. I have it myself and I just wanted to help you guys solving this problem. So you might not know this, but this is the sound port, the green one here. That's where you get your sound from the speakers, and you have the extra possibility of, as you can see in this picture, it's not a very good high definition picture, but there's a HD out port where you can pull a cable from this and then go directly from that port via a cable over to here. So you can get extra sound. But what happens when you do that? Well, typically what happens is that you get some sound degradation. It mutes the sound a bit, soundstage gets slightly smaller, and yeah, when you're dealing with this type of motherboard, stuff like popping noises, stuff like that just happens because it's let's just admit it, it's not a very expensive board, so small things like that happen, and sound is very sensitive to all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, let me just show you guys. Yeah, just like I described here. And so I suggest, if you're experiencing any popping noises, if you have like a volume level going on, let me just show you here what I mean. Look at my screen at the top right. Can you see this? This is the volume level on my keyboard. If this keeps going, you know, popping up, going up and down or something like that, that could be a problem with the whole connection here. So I would suggest, you know, this is a bit like in the real audio world when you want to solve problems. I suggest you move all of this compatibility, versatility stuff, because overall it degrades your sound. Let's say that you're not using this. Let's say that you're not using this. Even though you're not using this, this is sending, without you knowing it, a feedback back to the motherboard, so that when you use this port here, it actually becomes just slightly degraded. It's just that on most motherboards you don't notice this because there is a certain level of quality that kind of deals with that, so you don't notice it. But I did notice it on this smaller, this lower quality board. So yeah, do yourself a favor. Don't go with practical solutions, okay? Practical solutions always have a way of degrading sound quality, okay? So you always want to make things the most difficult you can for yourself in order to get the best sound quality. So what I did was I disconnected this, and I just used the ports on the back. Is it troublesome? Is it irritating? Yeah. But overall, you get a better sound quality. You get a better response from the USB drive. Sometimes, you know, on these low quality boards, you know, you can have situations like this where you connect something here and it hangs up, you know, it goes in conflicts because it's just a low budget board. You know, they just have these quirks. Also, a funny thing I just want to share with you guys. One thing I noticed, I have not a cabinet like this, but an, what's it called? I think it's called like an Altec Entec P5 cabinet. Looks pretty decent, good value for the price. But what I noticed is that you can't use the ports at the front. When you put a USB into these ports, it just locks the drive there. So you have to like yank it out with so much force that you're almost pulling the ports out of the cabinet. Never tried that before. But again, you know, that shows you when you're saving money, these are the problems that you'll be getting. So it just really annoyed me. So I just have to kind of look at a similar picture like this without being able to use it, and instead I just use the back ports. It's a bit annoying, but yeah, you guys just have to know that that's how you solve problems, especially within the hi-fi world. If you have to have a good quality sound, disconnect everything that's called versatility, stuff that makes your life more easy and practical. Those are things that most likely will destroy your sound. And I'm talking about plugins in Winamp, whatever program you're using, Fidelizer, Sound Tweak, something for your streamer, so it cleans up all the background processes so you can hear your sound better. These are things that almost always creates an extra problem for you. So it's a thing that goes on in the sound world that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. Every time you have an extra service, every time you have a background thing doing something for you that you can't see, it's almost always robbing you of some kind of a sound benefits. But you might not see it. It might be lurking in the background, so you can't really understand that it's doing anything that's bad, because you're used to dealing with that. You're used to being in that zone where you're turning on Windows and it's running like a million things in the background. And how will you ever know that you're missing something when you don't know what you don't know? You see what I mean? Because we've gotten used to a world where all the stuff that we do on our computer is easy. It's accessible because so this little company called Microsoft, where they want to cater to every single person out there. They don't want anyone that they can't have as their customer. So what is the solution? Well, you give every customer what they want. And how does that make things better? Well, it makes things more versatile, more compatible, more practical. But what happens when you do that? Well, us audiophiles, we miss out on the really good sound. We get to have an operative system that's 20 to 50 gigabytes of data that we're not really using. We're probably only using like 1/10 of that information, just so we can have an extra driver, so we can go in our browser and we can use our mouse when we're accessing a certain type of homepage. There's just so much rubbish in the system. So take this as a sort of a lesson in life, dealing with sound in general, that's how you solve most problems. You know, most companies don't go deep and play the deep game where they solve the problem at the root. They always go wide, so that how many languages can we make this talk to how many different ages of customers, so that our customers can do this and that and whatever. A great example is Slack. Slack is a chat program where if you ever had to use that at work, you'll figure out how horrible it is. Slack is basically a Microsoft Messenger type of chat based on the old IRC chat agent. And what it basically does is that it loads an entire Chrome browser and keeps that at your disposal on every single user's computer, so that you're not just running a chat, you're running a chat that has a built-in browser function, which has so many drivers available, so you can do whatever you want to do on the fly, so you can send emojis, so you can do all kinds of stuff. So I'm just trying to say, not trying to rant too much here, I'm just trying to say that you want to solve things on a higher level, so that especially stuff like sound just becomes so much better. And that's my message on this video. And yeah, if you could like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Have a nice day. Bye.